Hello, wonderful family. Another glorious day and another beautiful opportunity to share the word with you. Hallelujah. Think about this. How comfortable would you be to put your life in the hands of somebody who you cannot tell if that person is telling you the truth or not? Okay, let's just assume that you have a doctor or a lawyer and there's a life and death situation, and you cannot be sure that this doctor is telling you the truth. If you're seeing something in your body that looks like you are going to die, and you come across your doctor who you know has been known to lie from time to time, and that doctor tells you, oh well, that's nothing, how at peace will you be? Would you be one to take his word and go comfortably about your daily affairs, that the authorized one has given you words of comfort? Or would you go away from there not confident with the information that has been given to you? Do you know that that is exactly how we are when we do not have the innate compunction and knowledge that what God says is true, that God cannot lie. He has never lied before. His nature is one that cannot lie. Scripture has recorded it that it is impossible for God to lie or be proved false. Now, we run into trouble when we are not convinced on the inside of us that what God says cannot be proved to be false. Once we have compunction on the inside of us that God cannot lie, most of our problems are solved. The next hurdle is, did God say it? So if you know on the inside of you that God cannot lie, and you know that God said this thing, then that thing can be put to bed. You will no longer have anxiety about it, no matter what you see around you. The reason we get anxious is, in fact, there are two main reasons why we usually get anxious. One is we're not sure if God said it. And if we're sure He said it, we're not sure if God meant it. Now, saying that God doesn't mean, or wondering if God means something, is actually saying that God can tell a lie, a white lie. He says what He doesn't mean. That's basically is a lie. So, if we get convinced on the inside of us that God cannot lie, that anything He says is absolute, the truth, and then we get to know for certain that God actually said this thing, we're home and dry. It's a home run. So how do we get ourselves into that position? Bible tells us we got to go and learn about His nature. We got to go and hear Him say things and check from history. When He said these things, did He match His words with actions commensurate with what He said? If He did, then you have a history which you can fall back on. The same way you decide whether to trust someone or not, if you have their history. If this one has been one that tells lies, you can't put your confidence in him. But if it's one that consistently tells you the truth, when those hard times come, or hard situations come, and you hear from him, you know that he has a history of telling you the truth. So the likelihood that this time around he's also telling you the truth is very high. So go back to the book, the Bible. That's where you get to learn God's nature and character. Then you get to know what he says for the here and now. And you can take comfort and solace in it, knowing two things. One, that God said, and two, that when he says, he means it. He cannot lie. God bless you. Hallelujah.